for coordinating our meeting amongst everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for our Public Image Committee meeting about Clubrunner and some of the new features we've released. As mentioned earlier, my name's Omar. I am a product specialist at Clubrunner. I'm closing in on 5 years, June 22nd. So in 5 days, I'll be at my 5-year mark here at Clubrunner. For today, and pardon me for the lack of slides, but I've got this bullet list of what we'll be covering today. We'll overview our new and completely free to use cloud event system. I'll show you where that is on the demonstration website that was on the screen, share screen earlier, that Rotary Club of Kipling account. We'll also talk about how to create a QR code to print off so that registrants or visitors can just scan the QR code, go to that event's registration page and sign up. After we talk about cloud events, setting up an event, how registration looks for your visitors, we'll move on to donation campaigns. So you'll be able to create multiple donation campaigns to take donations for different fundraisers and projects at your club. All that's really needed to get started on this is an integrated payment account. I've got a link here, and I will follow up in more detail in our email together, but I will explore the different online payment processes you guys can sign up for, how you can get that started, and once you've got that integrated online payment account, your cloud events can take online credit card payments and your donation and you can start using the donations module to take online donations. Next, we'll talk about downloading and referencing Rotary branded content from the Rotary Branding Center. So it'll take us there. I've got an account with Rotary. I'm not part of a Rotary Club, but I do have access to the brand center. I'll show you where you can download some logos, where you can customize your club's name. After we take a quick look at Rotary Brand Center, we'll come back to our demo account with the branded center, with the links to our cloud events registration page, with the links to our donation campaigns, and link those up in our homepage, right on the homepage or in the navigation menu at the top. And after we finish that, we'll take a look at using the Clubrunner mobile app. It's the very last point here, using the Clubrunner mobile app to access the Rotary branded content we put on the homepage, access the cloud events that we've set up with registration for your members and visitors, and donation campaigns. And as soon as we're done all of that, we'll open up to questions, but I'd love to answer questions during the meeting, or you can just share them with me in the chat. I'll do my best to monitor while I'm on the page, but after, for sure, we'll jump into questions. I've booked about an hour maximum for us, but I'm good to stay another 10-15 minutes. And for the blocks here, I've planned about 10 minutes on cloud events, on donation campaigns, on Rotary branding. So 40 minutes, we should wrap up the content, and then we'll open up to questions. So I've just minimized that image. We're back on my demonstration account. First things first is let's take a look at using cloud events, what the registration form looks like, how can you access the orders, and getting that QR code for the event. So I pulled up a club demonstration homepage here, the Rotary Club of Kipling. It's not a real Rotary Club, or at least this website isn't for a real Rotary Club. It's our demonstration account we use for sales and tutorials. Before I jump into the back end, which I'm sure many of you have seen, I just want to show where cloud events appear on the website automatically. So if I scroll down our homepage just a bit, we've added this upcoming events. Really, it's just the events widget onto our homepage, and it lists all of the different kinds of events you can create in Clubrunner, including cloud events. Our cloud event that I'm going to show you guys today is this Canada Day Rib Fest, second event in the list. And I just click it. Any visitor or member can click that link from your homepage, and it pulls up the events registration page. All of the information you see, at least in this text box, is customizable. It's not the actual ticket prices, and this image is just an image in a text box. The title is all entered in the back end when you design your cloud event. So you can change this. It doesn't need to be your ticket prices. On the right side of the page is the address information. So if you plug in a complete address with address line 1, city, zip code, country, and state, it'll plop in a Google map so your visitors and members know how to get to your event. If I scroll down just a tad, we have the organizer information appear here. I am logged in, and you can set the organizer information to only appear for members, or not at all, or appear for everybody. So you can opt to display or hide that information. And at the very bottom is a social media share bar, where if I click one of these buttons, the visitor or member who clicks the button will share the event on their Facebook or on their, it's not Twitter anymore, it's X, LinkedIn, and others, Pinterest and others, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the registration form. To do that, I'm just gonna click or tap, if I was using my mobile device, this register button in the top right. Oh, it looks like we've set the registration URL to go away from the events registration. So this is a good time for me to do some troubleshooting. It seems like somebody had made some changes to my event, but we'll fix that. And part of it is getting the QR code. So let's do that. And then we'll take a look at the registration page. I'm going to click member area to go into the backend for cloud events here. This is the site administrator dashboard. Members who have executive access can also create cloud events. It's completely free to use. It's available in your Clubrunner today. To get there, we're going to click events from the top blue bar and then cloud events tickets. I could also scroll down the dashboard for our site administrator or executive. And in this events and volunteering dashlet, you'll also see cloud event tickets. And I'll click this link, but we could use the top blue and gray bars as well. So I'm going to click cloud events. We're brought to this introducing cloud events page. I'm going to click this view event list link on the left side. It's our contextual menu that updates for the module or page you're working in to view all of our cloud events. So I'm going to click view event list. Here are our 2 cloud events. I'm going to go to the same Canada Day RibFest event and click manage. If you want to create a brand new cloud event, you would click this orange create event button, and the pages will walk you through titling the event, entering a landing image, and eventually creating ticket prices. If you guys have an integrated payment account, you'll see where to select that as part of the event setup. But we're just overviewing. I want to show you guys just the reports, where to get the QR codes, fix that registration button issue, and then we'll take a look at the registration page. So I'm going to click manage for our Canada Day RibFest. Here we are. We're brought to a dashboard that displays the event's revenue and sales. So we've had this demo event open for a little while since earlier a few months ago. Haven't consistently put in registrations, but this bar graph will show you the different registrations over a time period. And if you hover over the bar, it'll highlight the month and day. To fix my registration landing page issue here, we have all these different tabs to look at the event's details. I'm actually going to click this setup tab in the top right. And here, I'm going to go to landing page in our options at the top. And here is that full description. It's really just a text box you can edit with different text and images. I just need to click this edit button. And there's our little bullet list and one big old image. I could replace the image by using my image editor tool. I don't want to get too off track. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to scroll further down. And if I get to this landing page link section, here's my issue. I need to remove this third-party registration URL. It'll return the event's registration page and the QR codes right here. Before I show you how to download that, I just want to fix this third-party registration URL. What it's used for is if you have an event you want to publicize from a sponsor with a landing page image, but then send them to a third-party website, this landing page link is where you'd go and edit and then enter their registration page, wherever that is, Eventbrite, Evently, you would throw in that registration link. So their event would appear in your upcoming events widget on the homepage. If somebody clicks through and clicks register, it'll send them to that third-party website. But I want to show you it all in Clubrunner, so I'm going to click edit on landing page link and delete this third-party URL so we can see the registration form. And if I wanted to download the QR code for our event here, I simply just right-click this QR code image. I'm going to right-click it, and then I can say open in a new tab or save image as. That's the most direct way. I'll just click save image as, and then it'll open up my file explorer where I can go to my demonstration folder and say Canada Day RibFest QR code. And then if I save that, I can go ahead and open that and print it from my device here. I just click up here and there should be a print edit tool, or I can click Control P and it'll prompt me to print the QR code. You can also use an image editor tool to cut this image out and put it in a flyer so that it has information above and then the QR code at the bottom. Okay, so that's how you get the QR code. I'm going to go ahead and we'll come back to the back end for our Canada Day or for our Canada Day Cloud event, but I want to show you the registration now. So I'm going to go back to home in the top right. I'm just going to open in a new tab. So we have the member area tab here. And then if I click homepage, we're back on my demo homepage. I'm going to go back to Canada Day RibFest. And this time when I click register, we'll see our cloud event registration options. Apologies for that. Clicking register, here we go. These are the tickets you set in the back end. And for each type of ticket, you can set different questions. So for our RibFest ticket, it's just for an individual, but our family pack tickets should include questions to have the buyer enter their guest names, their family names, so we can collect that information in our reports, see exactly who is attending per their ticket. So we've got the tickets at the top, and I can select multiples. You can make it so that somebody can only purchase one, or you can have a total quantity of just 100, for example. Next is products and add-ons. So if you guys are selling t-shirts or hats or other items like water bottles, you can enter those as a product or add-on, completely optional, and then set a limit to them, the amount of quantity you have. So if you have 100 water bottles, you can make a water bottle product, set it to 100 quantity, give it a price, and then your registrants can choose any number of that. You can set a limit. You can also add options to your product. So for our t-shirts that I created a while ago, if I click show options, I set up some sizes for the different t-shirt sizes. So now our registrant can say, oh, I need an extra large and I need a medium t-shirt. And finally, oh, somebody's added a very bad add-on. I'm sorry. Somebody's gone into my cloud event and changed it at the last minute. I'm going to ignore this add-on ASDA. I'm really not sure what it is, but we've got a t-shirt and we've got a parking pass. And finally, you can enable free-form donation. So if you want somebody to donate alongside their registration, you can just enable this free-form donation box, and then they'll be able to just punch in an amount to donate. They can also use these up and down arrows. Okay, next, your visitors or members will click proceed to checkout after they've chosen their tickets, products, and if you allow free-form donation, we're going to click proceed to checkout, and up at the top here, it'll display the event's address information and then their order summary below. And we've got that RibFest ticket, family pack, VIP, 3 parking passes, 2 t-shirts, 1 medium, 1 extra large, and our donation amount. You can also set promo codes for flat amounts like $10 off, $5 off, or percentage promo codes where it reduces the checkout cart by 25% or 50%. It does not affect the donation amount. So your percentage promos will not discount the donation amount they plug in. Okay, next is the buyer info, the person who's actually filling out the online form. This buyer info section is for them to fill out. So I would enter my user's information here. I'm using a demo profile named Charles Hampton. So I'm just going to pretend I'm Charles here with my testing email address. There we go. And there's my buyer information. Next is the ticket holder questions and the different kind of questions you can set to the tickets. I apologize. I was scrolling through. I don't see that our conditional questions are turned on, but this is a good chance for me to show you where those are set and how they are conditional when we go to look at it in the back end. I'll show you where that's set. I don't want to lie to you. It does exist. I think they may have been turned off for my tickets here. But in any case, I can fill them out for the different attendees. This will be Bob Hampton. I don't need to enter an email. We've made it not required, so I'm not going to fill that out. Do I have any food allergies? I'm just going to say no. And then I'd fill out the others here. Lita Hampton. And we'll do one last one, John Hampton. Okay, and if I scroll to the bottom, if you guys have connected an integrated payment account, and I will show you where you can sign up for that, you will have a credit card payment option, and you can make it the only option. So if everybody must pay by credit card, you would just choose the credit card payment option, and that's it. And then they must pay with credit card to register. We've allowed check payments as well. So if I click check, we'll see the check payment information. For this event, we've actually written in some instructions for an e-transfer payment. In Canada, it's like Venmo. You send a payment to an email address. For you guys, if you got a Venmo email address, you could use the check payment option, or there's a bill me later payment option you can enable and then customize those instructions. So they can see, oh, I'm supposed to pay by Venmo, or I'm supposed to pay by this other payment method, written check. I need to mail it to the club, and you can include those instructions. Okay, your registrant last step would click submit. Oh, please check in. Have you read our release and consent waiver? Oh, I have to check this checkbox. It is required with the asterisk there, so we've made it a required checkbox to say, hey, I've read this waiver. You can add attachments and files to the registration page as well. So if you have a form they should download and read, you can add that to the page we were just looking at before we clicked register. Okay, I've checked that checkbox. I'm going to click submit now. There we go. So we've entered our registration. If I go into the back end, I'll quickly show you those conditional questions where my order ended up. So clicking member area, it's going to send us back there. There we go. And this time I'll use the top blue bar and gray bar, events, then cloud events tickets. Awesome. I see I'm a little over on cloud events, but we should be able to cover donations and then the branding center all by 9:30. That's the plan here. I'm going to click view event list from the list of links on the left. Perfect. Here we are again with our 2 cloud events. I'm going to click manage for the event that we're working in. If I click the orders tab, we'll see all of the different orders we've received. This June 17th order number 181 is the one we submitted over our webinar today. I can click this little action drop down, edit their info, email the buyer's email address. If I want their question answers, I simply click this top checkbox to get everybody's registration information, and then I can click export at the top to export that information out of the system. I'll quickly show you what that looks like.
Omar, before we go in, could you kind of explain the difference between Cloud Event, My Event Runner, and Event Planner?
That is a great question. Thank you, Josh. So the report here has the quick custom question answers. Let me talk about those different events. So back at the top, I've clicked events. We've got our newest event system, Cloud Events, Event Planner, which has been with the company for as long as I've been with the company, and My Event Runner, which is even more legacy than the 5 years that I've been with Clubrunner. There are also speakers and calendar items. The main difference between Cloud Events and Event Planner is Cloud Events can have multiple registration options, multiple tickets, multiple products, and a free-form donation amount. Event Planner events may only have a single registration cost. So everybody is charged $25, no options. If you want to include extra information and add-ons, you have to throw that in a description, and they have to pay for that in person or outside of the event registration. Next is My Event Runner. Really, Cloud Events is looking to do everything My Event Runner is doing in the system. We do have a free My Event Runner Lite version and a pro one where we charge $1 per registration to My Event Runner. There are no plans at this time to charge for Cloud Events. It's completely free to use. We will always have a free version of Cloud Events for clubs to use. So don't hesitate, use Cloud Events. Really, any customer I'm working with, districts, clubs, zones, areas, I'm telling them use Cloud Events. The one main difference is My Event Runner can have member-only registration. Cloud Events are always public. Any visitor will be able to see them and register to them. There are also calendar items. They do not have any form of registration. You can set them to recur. But if you want to do something like that for Cloud Events, you just copy the event, update the details, update the date, and then you're good. But if you want something automatic without registration, it sends you to calendar items. And speakers are just a more niche version of posting a calendar item on the website. There isn't registration for speakers. It's just a speaker name, a topic, a date and a time, a description, and that's really it for speakers. You can't even set recurrence. You can copy them and edit their details after the fact. So really, for all events with online registration, even without, I'm suggesting people use Cloud Events. And if you go to the Setup tab and go to that landing page, what I referred to earlier, you can even link to another website's event registration. If I went to Setup, landing page, say this description is all I needed for the event, we're not hosting the registration, I would plug in this description, whatever it is, and then further down, I would go to the landing page link and click edit and change third-party URL to that other websites registration page. So now anybody who clicks register on your event's registration page are sent to the third-party registration page instead of using the Cloud Events registration form. Okay, so really, I'm suggesting everybody use Cloud Events unless you want something automatic, recurring, then calendar items, or if you want something member only, then I'd suggest My Event Runner. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I do see a few questions here. Marcia asks, would we be able to email directly to the ticket buyers? Yes, in the Cloud Event, you just go to the Orders tab, and then if you just want to email 2 of them, you just check their names and then click email, and then you can fill out this form to send them the email. So sender information, it says sender profile. You can set these up in donations. I don't want to confuse you guys. Really, if you just choose me, it'll appear from your name and your email address, and if they reply to it, it'll go to you and your email address. Or you can choose custom. So if it should appear from the club, if this email should appear from the club, you can click custom, plug in your club name instead, Kipling Rotary, plug in your club's email address, just throwing in a fake one here, rotarykipling@gmail.com. This reply to is same as sender. If they click reply, should the email go back to Kipling Rotary or should it go to somebody else? If it should go to somebody else, uncheck this checkbox, enter in who should receive that reply after you send this email. Okay, and then if I just scroll down further, you can enter email templates and then use them in this email. But I imagine most of you want to write in your own content. So up at the top here, you can just plug in your subject. Make sure to bring your hats, for example. And then below, I can enter in the email content. Hi, it'll say their first name, so Charles Hampton, or if I move this to the side, I've only got Charles selected, but whatever their first name is, it'll plop in their first name. Topic is a merge field for speakers, but in any case, you can customize this text. You can say, make sure to bring a hat and a water bottle. It will be hot. For those with families, bring a picnic blanket, for example. Okay, if I wanted to add an image into this email, I can do that with the editor tools at the top here. I can click image, and then I get this image properties dialog where I can click browse server, and it opens up our image library, a repository of images. I can choose one image. It appears in the preview. I can adjust its width and height, but I'm just going to click OK, and then it adds the image to where my cursor was. So right after that line, we've got our image there. I can even link this image if I click it once, then click this link editor tool. You'll get this link dialog, and if you click the link type drop down, you'll see a whole bunch of different things you can link to on your Clubrunner. If I click event as the link type, it will display your cloud event. So you can find this link editor tool on the website text boxes, in your email text boxes. Really, wherever you see a text box with that link editor tool, you should be able to click the link type drop down, choose event. You can link to your cloud events, and I will touch on this later, but there's also donation campaigns, and you can link to your donation campaigns on the website as well. There are also many different items you can link to, custom pages or extra pages you can create for your website. You can link to those in the same link dialog and much, much more. I wouldn't be able to cover it all. And I know I'm 14 more minutes into my Cloud Events demo than I'd like to be, but that's okay. I'll close this out. And if I really wanted to send out the email, I could just click this orange send button on the bottom right. Some of you will recognize the regular email fields. You can add attachments. You can schedule the email to go at a specific time. I'll close this. And that's mostly what I have planned for Cloud Events, but I'm happy to answer more questions after we cover donations and the Rotary Branding Center. So let's take a quick look at the donations on the website, how those exist in your member area. So again, I'm going to go to home in the top right. I'm just going to open it in a new tab. Here we are back on the home page. As soon as you guys create your first donation campaign, it will live on /donation. So whatever your homepage URL is, just for example sake, myclub.org /donations is where all of your donation campaigns will appear. So for our demo account, it's kipling.clubrunner.co /donations. For you guys, it'll be myrotaryclub.org or .com /donations. And once you're there, you'll see all of the different donation campaigns that you have created. If you have not created any, it will display a message, hey, you guys need to set up your donations before this page displays the campaigns. At the top, you can choose which one should be the general or your most important campaign, so you can highlight it above the rest, and then further below, you'll have your other campaigns that organize alphabetically, if I recall, but your visitors can search for the different campaigns as well. If I click donate now for one of these campaigns, it'll show the rest of the campaigns in the list on the left. So they can click to another one right into that campaign. So oops, I clicked disaster relief fund. I meant to donate to school in Honduras. You can title your campaigns at the top. This is just a text box, which you can include images and links to your events, links to your documents, links to your custom pages, like I showed for the email editor. And just below are the donation campaign presets. You can customize these. So if you don't see an amount you guys want to ask for a donation, you can just enter that 150, 250, for example. You can also disable this other option. So if you don't want them to plug in like their own amount, like $45 or $60 or whatever, you can opt not to allow freeform donations. At this point, they would click donate. You can also ask for comments. I skipped that. I'm not sure if one of these is set with comments, but you can ask for comments and they spit out in a report. But after they click donate, it'll pull up a form very similar to the Cloud Events registration form. The donation module only takes credit card payments. There is no option to say I'm going to donate by check or I'm going to donate by this other method. It's always the integrated credit card payment account. Okay, and I could fill this out and click submit. It feeds into the report. I'm not going to fill this out. We have some registrations already entered, or donations, I should say. Let's go back into the member area to take a look at where you'd configure your donations module with the main campaign, the extra campaigns where you can get those reports and email your donors. So I could click member area, wait for that to load. I still have our member area tab open. So I click back to where we were for events. Instead of events in the top blue bar, I'm going to click donations, donations in the top blue bar, then donations settings in the gray bar below. I'm just going to zoom in a little more. There we go. So donation settings is where you create your general campaign, the first one at the top, but you can replace it with another. Once you click into donation settings, if you have not set any campaigns at all, you'll see a setup button. And once you click setup, the form will look exactly like this. You'll have a donation listing description, which is the top of the /donations page. And then just below is where you choose the default campaign. If you choose this option, whatever you fill below will be the topmost campaign. If you click use specific campaign, the rest of the campaigns you create after creating this first one will appear in this dropdown, and then you can select that one to replace the general or whatever you call your base campaign. You can choose which other campaign should replace that at the top. Let's have it be Codes for Kids. Okay, and if I scroll down a little more, we can add a description with an image, even more text, even more links, as well as some display options. So some of you may have noted, if I go back to the donations page, this may be a little jarring. I'm going to leave that, go back to donations. We have this total amount raised, this number of donors. That's what these options are. Show total amount received, show total number of donors. You can ask donors for comments. This allow donor add comments box is exactly that. And you can make them required or not required. If they shouldn't be required, you would just uncheck make comments required. Next are the available amount presets. This is where you could plug in your own preset. I just typed in a comma and then $250, and then I could do another comma, $500. I'm making these updates for the general campaign, but we're replacing it with Codes for Kids. So we will not see these options when I save this update, but that's how you enter them. You just enter in a comma in available amounts and then plug in the number. If you don't want them to use the other option to enter in their own amount, you would uncheck allow freeform amount. And next is the payment account. The donation account is hooked up to. The same is for cloud events. There's a setup tab. In the setup tab, there's a settings, and in the settings is the payments. You can choose the payment account that's set there. If you guys have multiple integrated payment accounts, you will see them in this dropdown. So one donation campaign can be set to send its donations to your regular online payment account, which is connected to your regular bank account, and then another can be hooked up to your foundation online payment account, which is hooked up to your foundation bank account. So those two funds are kept separate for the two different campaigns or more online payment accounts. Okay. Next is custom confirmation message. If you want to display a custom message to thank them for their donations, you would use custom message. You can also use the default message we just sort of set right out of the box. If you use default message, you can click view default message and it'll show you we didn't customize for the campaign we donated, so we saw the default donation confirmation message. And lastly, but definitely not least, is the notification of the email that's sent to the donor. You just need to check this donation confirmation checkbox. You will see a donation email templates to select from. You can create your own custom donation confirmation thank you email and then individually set which campaign should use which thank you message, as well as this from information. Who does the email appear from? So ours, it's going to appear from the Rotary Club of Kipling, and it's going to use your email at example.com as the sender email address, and it says to donor, the person who's making the donation on the website. And if I click save, we've changed our default campaign at the top here. So there we go. I've clicked save. It is processing here. Should save within the minute. Usually within 10 to 15 seconds, even faster. There we go. And if I go back to donations, I'm just going to click donate again to go back to that /donation page. And now Coats for Kids is our top campaign instead of that general campaign. And if I click donate now, it won't show the new options because we set those for the general campaign. If you want to change the other campaign details, I'm going to go back to the member area donation settings. Instead, after clicking donation settings, we would click manage campaigns to create the other campaigns for your website. You can hide some to prevent them from appearing on the website on that donation list page. The URL still exists. People can find the URL, but nobody will see it and be able to click through to it. If I want to update our Code for Kids options, I can just click this edit button, but it's very similar if you click add. It's really the same donation setting form, but this time for a campaign. So it won't have stuff about the donation list page. It'll just be for our campaign, Coats for Kids. The permalink is the URL. If I click school in Honduras, here's that permalink school-in-Honduras. You can customize that. Code is what the payment is logged as in the online payment account. So if you're using Paya, you have a virtual terminal you can log into. If you're using PayPal, you can log into the PayPal account and you will see this code in front of the transaction ID numbers. Whatever code they spit out in the transaction ID, you will see Coats for Kids in front of it to help you identify, oh, this payment was for that campaign. And there are code fields for event systems too. So you can set a code for your cloud event and you'll know those online payments were for the cloud event when logging into the PayPal or Paya payment account. Okay, a description checkbox, very similar. I can add links, I can add images, I can customize this text. I'm not going to spend much more time on editing text boxes. We can also choose an image. This Coats for Kids does have an image. If I click through to it, oops, I need to go back to the donations list page. This is that image for the campaign. You can also add images to this text box. That text box, when I click donate now, we are distributing Coats for Children. I would just add the image right here and it'll also appear on the donate page. The same display options to show people. Here is where I'd add my Coats for Kids 250 donation amount. Let's uncheck allow freeform so they can't use other. Payment account is good. And I'll use the custom confirmation message here. We'll click save and take a quick look at our update. If I go back to the campaign and just click refresh for our latest updates, there's our 250 option, and we've hidden other comments are still required for our, or comments are now required for our Coats for Kid donation campaign. All of these donations feed into the donations module donation report. If I click donation report, we'll scroll down. Here's all of the campaign's donations, every single campaign's donation. Some have seemed to gone to a campaign that no longer has a name. So that's why these campaigns are hidden here. But I can filter for a specific campaign. I just need to go to this donation campaign dropdown, choose the campaign, click update result, and now it's only for that campaign. There are also fancier analytics pages. If I go to manage campaigns again from the left, and instead of clicking edit, I'm going to click this action dropdown, and then I'm going to click stats for one of the campaigns. And here's the analytics for our Codes for Kids. It shows us, oh, we received $25 in donations in 2311 on November 23, 326 in donations in 2403, January, February, March, and so on. And we'll also see popular presets. So if, excuse me, I think I got a bit of sweat in my eye. Popular presets, the amounts you select, how often the donors are selecting that payment account or that payment option. So you'll see, oh, 100 seems to be our most used, or 25 seems to be our most used. There are also some other stats of who donated the most at the bottom here. Who are your most recent donations? There's also a analytics page for the whole donations module. We just click donation analytics from the left. Instead of manage campaign stats, we just click donation analytics, and this is for the whole module. All of our different campaigns have received $1,452 in 2403. All of our campaigns received 687 in funds. If I scroll down some more, we can see which campaign is the biggest piece of the pie. It's our Codes for Kids, but we also have some other ones here with notable portions, and it gives you a little stats at the bottom here. Okay, I am over time, but let's move on to I got a question from Josh. Thank you. Is PayPal allowed for US clubs? Yes, it is very, very new. May we announced that PayPal is completely free to use with your Clubrunner. All our team needs is your club's PayPal email address and what you would like that PayPal account to appear as in Clubrunner. Just for example, if I were setting up this club's PayPal, I would suggest to the customer PayPal Rotary Kipling. That way, when an executive goes in to create an event, they can see PayPal Rotary Kipling, knowing that's the PayPal account. And if you have a PIA payment account, we can title that something else. Let me show you where you can find information about our integrated payment accounts, and then we'll go to the Rotary Branding Center. So I'm just going to shuffle our topics a bit real quick here. I'm going to go to our official website, clubrunner.ca or clubrunner.com. Both take you to the same place. I'm going to click features in the top bar, and if I scroll down, I will share the link to this page in our email with Josh, so we can forward that on. But I'm going to click online payment here. This page generally talks about our online payment. Really, what we need to do is scroll all the way to the bottom, and then we're going to click US for organization in the US. And if I scroll down a little more, here are the 3 processors we integrate with for clubs in the US and Hawaii. PIA, we've always partnered with them for as long as I've been with Clubrunner. PayPal, which is very new. We used to only offer it for international clubs. US clubs can now sign up for free. We do not charge for PayPal integration. You would only pay PayPal's fees for the online payments. I think it's 3%. I'm not 100%, but they have their own fees. PIA has their own fees. Stripe is unofficially available. It works with cloud events and the donations module, but does not work with our legacy event systems, My Event Runner, Event Planner, or dues and billing for membership invoicing. So Stripe only works with just cloud events and donations for now. It is coming to dues and billing, but I do not believe we're bringing Stripe to our more legacy event systems. But you can sign up for any of these 3. PayPal, we just need your email address, the PayPal email address, and what you'd like to title it in Clubrunner. You can send that information on our website, clubrunner.ca, clubrunner.com. Contact us. And if you scroll down, customer support, contact support, you can click submit a ticket. Also, right from your member area, if you click help, you can also click submit a ticket. It'll open up our knowledge base, clubrunnersupport.com. You can fill out the form, your name, your email, subject. We'd like to set up PayPal. If it's urgent, you need the PayPal account integrated within the next day or 2, set your priority to urgent. We get back to urgent tickets within a business hour. Sometimes, and this really shouldn't happen, 2 business hours, but no longer than a day. If you submit an urgent request, you should hear from our team within 1 to 2 business hours. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. So as soon as our office is open, within 2 hours, you'll hear from us if you submit an urgent ticket. But otherwise, send in a normal request. We get back to normal requests within within a day at most to really 10 business hours, which would be like a day and a half for us. So feel free to reach out. It doesn't have to be for PayPal. It can be for any questions. How do I design my website? Do you have a video about that? We can send you that information. Okay, let's take a quick look at the branding center, and then we'll touch on the website designer to include your cloud event link, your donation link, the image you downloaded from the Rotary Branding Center. So I've already pulled it up ahead of time, brandcenter.rotary.org. Right here, and you can even search for Clubrunner knowledge base stuff and the brand center. I could go search for Clubrunner support, for example. There's our knowledge base Clubrunner support. If I search for brand center Rotary, you should be able to find the two brand center Rotary. So all of our stuff and Rotary stuff, very easy to find. You can use any search engine. Right here, I can go to our brand to view all of the different types of content they have available. So if you have stuff for people of action, you can find resources about that, promoting Rotary to view those resources. What I find clubs use the most is this downloads tab and this templates tab from Brand Center. In the downloads tab, you can download images and videos and audio from Rotary and graphics, more so logos and graphics. They also have this handy top download section to help you with what else other Rotary clubs are downloading. But if I click view for Rotary logos, it'll bring us to this list page, which talks about the different kind of content they have available. Promotional materials at the top was images, videos, and audio, and more logos and graphic. If I want a logo, I can click into Rotary logo. We'll see a few different templates to begin from. Most Rotary clubs will use the master brand or the simplified in reverse colors. If your navigation menu is a dark color, I'm just going to show you what I mean here. I'm going to go to my demo account, click home. Our navigation menu is a dark blue, so we want the text to be in white. So when using the brand center, we would download or use this template instead. Otherwise, this blue will blend in with our navigation menu. But say we need to recreate it, we should include our club name at the top club of, and then our club name at the bottom. I will use the master brand signature. It asks me, hey, choose your file type. I'm going to choose PNG and click download. I don't see that it's giving me an editor. I think I've clicked the wrong one here. Let me try templates, but I did get this image. If I click this download file from my browser, here's the image. I can upload it to our image library and reference it on the website. I will show that. But let's make the logo with our club name. I just need to find the right one here. Templates, and I think it's Rotary Club logo instead. There we go. So in templates is where you can customize with your club name and so on. Downloads is just the image file, it's just the material, but templates is where you can further design. And in here, I can click create. I'm going to close this little pop-up here. It was talking about the template. This is how you can use the template. I have an idea of some of these regulations, so I'm just going to quickly whip it together once it loads for us here. This is Rotary's website. There we go. So on the right is our image. On the left is how we can control how it appears. Logo should be regular. Color, I'll say full color. Alignment is where the text will appear. I'm going to change this to above and below logo. And then at the top will be our club name. So I'll say Kipling. And then, I think I should say Rotary. Yeah, I'm going to say Kipling since that's what it asks. But then below, I can include any other information. So I could say demo district, because that's what our account is in. It's in a demo district. So then there we go. There's my logo. If I scroll down just a little more, here's the download file link. If I click it, it'll say, which option do you want to use to download the logo? I suggest PNG because it'll make this white space see-through. So if there's colors in the back, it'll pick up those colors. Where if I chose JPEG, this white space would be part of the image. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna download the JPEG image. Starting JPEG generation. There's my JPEG. If I click it, here's our image. It's probably a little too wide. This white space will take up space on the website. I would suggest cropping it with an image editor tool if you can do that with your device. I do have image editor tools on my device so that I could crop this, but that's not necessarily part of our training here. If you have an image editor tool, likely you can find a crop feature. Google Slides also has a crop feature. So if you bring your image into a Google slide, you can actually crop it using Google Slides. But in any case, I am now going to take this image and the links to our cloud events and donation campaigns and hook those up to our demo website. So I'm going to go back to the Rotary Club of Kipling here. I'm going to go into the member area, clicking member area in the top right. Yeah, I'll do that now. There was one other thing I wanted to show, but I can get myself off topic. Anyway, I'm going to click website in the top blue bar. And if I want to work on our homepage, I'm going to click homepage designer. Just a note, only the greatest access level, club access level, 30-site administrator has access to the homepage designer. Your executives and editors will have access to designer home. They will not be able to edit the homepage, which will be in this recent pages section, but they will be able to create custom pages. So they can create extra content for the website. They just click create page and they can design a second page that the administrators can link to the navigation menu. I'm going to show you guys that exactly now. So I'm going to click homepage designer for our homepage. It is loading for me. It should be a little faster than that. There we go. Spoke too soon. On the right side of the page, I won't have time to talk about themes and layouts, but on the right side in the content tab, we have a pre-formatted widget group. These are really just text boxes and image space. So if I drag in image with caption, I can put it into any layout area. So I have this banner full width section where my carousel that spans the monitor width is, a top section that spans all three columns, and the rest of the columns, the left layout column, the main, the right. If I want this new widget to be in the main, not spanning all of the columns, I could drop it above this other widget. I just move my cursor slowly up. Or if I want it to be in the banner full width section, I just hover over there and move my cursor slowly up or below to drop the widget in place. I'm going to move it above this welcome to Kipling. Here, for the image space, I'm just going to click this pencil icon. And then to get my image into our image library, I'm going to click this upload button at the top here. It'll open up my file explorer on my device. I think I've saved them in the downloads folder. Yes, I have. I'm going to select both of these files. I've actually held down the shift key or the command key for you Apple users and then click the second file. And I'm going to click open. It's going to upload both. So this was the one with the white rotary text. So it's very hard to see, but the word rotary is there. And then for this second template image, we left the white space that Rotary Brand Center generated the image with. So I would suggest cropping this down if you have an image editor tool, but I will select it for our demo here. So I'm going to double click this and you can definitely see all of that extra white space eating up. If I cropped out that white space, this image would be more centered, more in the middle of my area here. And just below the image space for pre-formatted widgets, we have this text box. I can, let's link to the cloud event and the donation campaign. So I'm going to say register to our Canada Day BBQ. Oops, I misspelled that, apologies. And then the donate to our different fundraisers and projects. Okay, so for the register to Canada Day barbecue, I'm just going to double click that line of text. I'm going to click the link editor tool. And then from this link type drop down, I can choose the event. There we go. And the upcoming events, Canada Day request. Okay, there we go. Now that text is linked to the events registration. Donate to our different fundraisers and projects. I'm going to double click that line of text, click link. If I want it to go to a specific campaign, I'm going to change link type to donation campaign, and then I'll see the specific campaigns here. If I want it to go to the list page with all of the campaigns, that's a built-in page. So I'm going to click link type again, click built-in page. These are the pages we provide you guys with as soon as you sign up for Clubrunner. We give you a bulletin list page for all of your newsletters, club executives page, contact us page for the website setting contact, and much more. Donation campaign listing is the one with all of the campaigns. Okay, we've got that entered. We also got a QR code a little while ago. Let's throw that in this text box. I'm just going to click this image editor tool, browse server. I'm going to click upload for my subfolder, but I could upload it to my images. I'm going to click upload. Do I have it here? Did I move it to the demo demonstration? There we go. There we go. So there's my QR code. I'm going to click it once, click open. It's in my image library. If I double click it, it'll say, hey, do you want to adjust its width and height? I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm just going to click OK, and it's middle align the QR code right here at the bottom of the widget. So anybody going to the home page, they can scan this code or use another device to scan this code and open up the same event registration we linked to this page. Sorry, my grammar add-on is appearing in odd places. Okay, so we've linked it in the content of the homepage, but we can also add it to the navigation menu at the top. And for most things in your website designer, all you have to do is just hover over the area in the left side and click into the blue space, and it'll take you to where that widget pulls its information from, or that area pulls its information from. So if I do this for edit navigation, it pulls up this manage homepage menu page, which is just a drop down of all the different folders you had. So we have home, about us. If I go to the actual homepage, here's home, here's the about us folder, members. So we've included some built-in member-only pages in a new members folder. You can do something very similar. But I'm going to add the cloud event and the donation campaign page to our navigation. So say I want to include a new folder, get involved, and then it'll we already have a get involved, but it's nested under about us. Let me make a new top level one. And what I mean by nested is if I go to the homepage and go to about us, here's that get involved. So you can have folders within folders, and you can move those folders with these three little dots. You can just simply click and drag and move it into another folder or out of the folder as a top level folder. Oops, I need to fix that here. I'm finagling just a little too much with it. There we go. Now it's back to original state, but let's make that new folder. So I'm going to go ahead and add new item. We're going to say get involved. I'll say 2. This number 2 will appear in the nav menu, but that's okay. It's just a demo here. And then I'm going to save this new folder. Automatically, it'll be placed at the bottom. There's our new folder. I'm going to move it up. I'm just going to drag it up to news and updates. There we go. And then I'm going to click add menu item to add to our new folder. Here it's the same deal. I'm going to just type in donations list page. You could title it something more friendly, you know, our donations, our different projects, for example. And then I'm going to use the same link type built-in page, donation campaigns listing, save. And if I go back to the same get involved 2 folder, add menu item, I can add all sorts of different menu items, but I just want to add our event, cloud event Canada Day Ribfest. I'm going to say Canada Day Ribfest, just to tie the knot here. The menu title is what appears on the website. So this is what the visitor will click. It'll say Canada Day Ribfest without the exclamation mark. Tooltip is if they hover over it, it'll display a little message. It's not required. Link type, but we've already talked plenty about link types. And then this next drop down depends on the link type. Open in new window. If we check this, if I go to the home page and then click into the item, it instead of making this browser tab go to that page, it opens up a new page, and that new page will not have a back button because it's a whole new tab. So a lot of the times people will leave this off. You will turn it on if you're sending them to somewhere else, a different website entirely. Maybe you want to keep the one page that they click the link from still open, your home page, and then that new browser tab opens with the other website. Okay, I will leave it off and we'll click save. With all changes to the website, you must publish them, or they just live in the designer. They just live in this draft state until we publish them. So for the menu updates, we need to click this orange publish menu button. Otherwise, if I go to the homepage and refresh, it's not here. There is no get involved folder. I must click publish menu. Okay. And if I just went to the homepage again or click refresh, there's our get involved 2 folder. If I click donation list page, it pulls up big old campaign list page. And if I click the Canada Day Ribfest, it'll open up that same events registration page. Okay, last, and I know I'm over time at this point, I want to show you guys the Clubrunner mobile app, how it works with the homepage, with donation campaigns, with events for your members. It won't take me too long, and I do thank you all for staying with me into question time. So I'm going to go ahead and click this program. It's an emulator. It has video games at the bottom. Please ignore that. I use this to show an Android device on my desktop, on my laptop here that I'm demoing from. To download Clubrunner, you just need to open up the Google Play or Apple App Store, search for Clubrunner. You'll see our app. I'm just going to show you guys. I'm going to search for Clubrunner. There it is. There's our app up at the top. I could click open from here. I will click the home button to go back to my device's home screen, and then I'm going to tap into Clubrunner. Okay, this is the page your members will see after they log into the mobile app. Members can recover their information. I'm just going to quickly sign out here. Say I didn't know my information. I can click retrieve, reset my password to use my mobile device to get my information. But I'm going to log back in quickly here. I think I revealed my password, but it's all a demo account, so I sort of don't mind. In the top, I'm going to click this little 3-bar icon. Your members logging into the mobile app will all have this My Clubrunner dashlet to manage their profile information, view all of the events, including the cloud events, their own attendance, their preferences with the app like language, and sign out. If your club is on Clubrunner, and I know definitely most of you guys have your own club version Clubrunner, you'll have extra features, including club notifications. This has been out for about a year. Any members who've downloaded and logged into the app, if you go to this screen and compose a message and send it, they will see a notification. It's not a text, it's a notification. It looks like any other notification on a mobile device. Instead of Google Play services, it would say Clubrunner, and then just below, instead of "you're this close," it would say the title of your message, and instead of "finish setting up your phone," it would be the content of the message. And if they tap it, it would open up this same page where they can like the notification. They can even copy its text. Oops, if I click into it, yes, I can copy the message's text and share that with somebody else. Okay, so that's notifications, but let's get back to our donations and cloud events. For cloud events, I'm going to tap all events. It is loading. There we go. This is all of the different events from other clubs in our district events. I'm only working in my demo account for the most part, so we're seeing RC of Kipling, but when you guys open up all events, you'll see other clubs, Clubrunner events, your district events, and much more. I'm going to tap into Canada Day Ribfest. It will open my mobile device's browser. Since I'm on a laptop, it does this sort of full screen thing. I just want to show you guys in the designer, when you're designing your homepage, there is a mobile preview. I'm going to click this little pencil icon to go quickly to the homepage editor. Only administrators have this little orange pencil icon. I know I clicked it really fast. If you're an administrator, anywhere you see this pencil, it'll take you straight to where to edit the content. For the homepage designer, I just click this preview mobile, and we'll see how the website looks when a phone opens up rotarykipling.org. And it organizes the banner full width section first, and then the top section where we added this widget to, and then next is the main section, the main middle column, and the rest left to right. Just showing you, so we've got this mobile preview. I'm going to go to the actual homepage. Here's that full width section, the top section. Oops, I thought I published my update. Oh, let me go ahead and publish my new widget. I didn't do that, publish. Oops, I forgot to publish. There's our widget with the link to the event registration page, the donations, and the QR code. But for a mobile device, this is first, then this new widget we added, then the welcome, then this main column with our Facebook plugin and an embedded video, and then the left column, this upcoming events, the right column, and then the bottom. So if I scroll all the way to the bottom, here's the bottom layout section and the website footer. We don't have text entered in our footer. Okay, so that's how the mobile is sort of viewed or is viewed on a mobile device. My emulator it's pretending to be a laptop, so it's still making it full screen. So pardon me, but that's cloud events. I'm going to go the back button. So we're back in the all events list. If I want to get to the donations, I just tap from the club section, club donations, and it opens up the same donations list page where we chose Codes for Kids to be our top one to replace the general and all of our additional campaigns below. And if I tap into it, it's the very same from a mobile device. They're just using their mobile device screen to tap around and make those donations. Okay, and we could, all that Rotary branded content, if we added it to a custom page or on a widget on the website, they would see that branded content as they navigate around your public website. Awesome. That is all of the content I have planned for our training, but I would love to answer more questions. I do see 15 participants. You guys can either share your questions with me in the chat, or if you unmute, I'll use the share screen to answer your questions. So I'm free to you guys.
So there's a question from Stephanie. Is there a chat feature or plan to add a chat feature within Clubrunner?
I have an idea of what you mean. You sort of like want like WhatsApp in the mobile app. Is that am I phrasing too far here?
Access the spreadsheet.
She said yes.
Okay, yeah. So at this time, no, there isn't necessarily a place where members can make a post and then other members can sort of follow up on it. The closest thing I can suggest instead is a website story. You can create stories for the website. They appear in a homepage stories widget. We've titled it Club Projects. And if you enable comments for a story, I'm going to click into this story. Your members can post on the public website. They just need to log in and then they can type a comment on your website story, and then other members and visitors will see those comments. Visitors can't leave a comment, only members can leave comments on the story. So you could host a story on the public website, not in the mobile app, to host that discussion. I will let our product team know that's not the first time this has come up, sort of what's up for Clubrunner. I will make note of that with our product team.
That's a really great question and a great workaround.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions in the chat?
I do see a few, so I'm going to skim through those right now. Conrad asks a couple of questions. What's the difference between My Event Runner and Cloud Events? We covered that earlier. And then next is, in My Event Runner, the mobile payment system is Sage payment processing. Do we have to use Sage for Cloud Events? No, you do not. Just it's a multifaceted question here. You do not have to use Sage for Cloud Events. You can use any of the payment processors I showed from our website. PayPal, Paya, or Stripe. Stripe works with Cloud Events. For PayPal, reach out to us. Say, I'd like to hook up my PayPal account. We'll just ask for the email address and then what you'd like to name it in Clubrunner. For Stripe, it's a little more involved. They have a public key and a secret key. We will ask you for those details if you have a Stripe payment account. So no, you don't have to use just Paya or Sage, as they were previously called for Cloud Events. And the final part of the question here is, if a Rotary Club is not using Sage payment processing, what other mobile payment processing platform is connected with Cloud Events? Let me show you where we can find that information again. And we reach out if you can't find it after our demo here. My team here would love to send it to you. And if you have questions, we have representatives at Paya, at Stripe that you can reach out to, or at least contact information you can reach out to. So I'm going to go to clubrunner.com or clubrunner.ca. Both go to the same place. Features in the top blue bar. Then if I scroll down, online payment should be in the fourth row on the left. I'm going to click online payment. This page generally talks about the integration. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Here are the different processors we've partnered with. I'm going to click US. And then this page will show the different processors we've partnered with. Paya is previously known as Sage for your questions, so they're the same company. PayPal is very new. Last month, we opened up integration with PayPal for US clubs, and Stripe is also very new, just works with Cloud Events and donations at this time, but it'll also come to dues and billing. I want to confuse you guys more. Our Canadian payment processor also offers US-based payment accounts. So I click Canada, Worldline, formerly known as Bambora, has US-based merchant accounts. Each processor has their own fees. So frankly, you guys would have to compare Worldline's fees to Paya's fees to PayPal's fees, and maybe some have an annual fee and a monthly fee and others don't, but a higher fee rate. So there would be different cost comparisons you'd have to make. But just adding fuel to the fire on Worldline, on Canada payment processing page, if you scroll down, there's this apply online link for Worldline. It'll pull up this partners page on their website, and we can send this to you. You don't need to remember this. Here's the Canadian processing. Here's the US processing you guys would sign for if you want to sign up with Worldline. So they have 3.5% plus a quarter. I don't believe they have an annual or monthly fee, but our representative at Worldline can definitely confirm. I don't believe so, though. And then you can click submit. There are more questions, so I'm just going to go through them as I see them here. Marcia asks, so our club has 1,000 event, a 1,000 plus event that sells tickets, registration, VIP. At this point, we have a separate Wix website to accept monies for the tickets. Could this be done through cloud events? Yes, you can definitely use cloud events to host your 1,000 plus registration event. I have worked with customers who've received more than 1,500. I think we don't have an official limit that I'm aware of, but it should at very least go to like 5,000 plus registrants. If it's past that, if you're expecting more than that, it's probably a good idea to reach out. But up to 5,000, I'm pretty confident it can do. More than 1,000, up to 2,000, I am 100% certain it can do. So definitely give cloud events a try. You don't have to go live right away. Maybe create a test event first. Instead of using an integrated payment account, say you guys don't have one, use the check or bill me later payment options. You do not need a payment account to use cloud events. You do to use donations. But cloud events, you don't need one. You can try them today. The next question Conrad asks, for donations, can we segment it? In other words, if we want funds that are donated to the foundation versus funds that are donated to club, can this type of segmentation be done? That's another great question. Specifically for this, Conrad, excuse me, I would suggest creating two campaigns. One for your foundation. So you could, for example, foundation for Rotary Club of Kipling, or however you want to title that. And the second one would be, I don't want to say regular club donation campaign, but you could title that whatever you'd like. Donate to our club directly, for example. And then that title would appear right here instead on the page. So your donor would decide there, or if they click donate now, they could also decide from this list of the campaigns on the left. Another great question. Marcia has a follow-up. Another headache to registering volunteers for different jobs, some of which will get an event t-shirt, other jobs will not get a t-shirt. Would we be able to email directly to ticket buyers? So I think I answered the second part, but not the first part. When registering volunteers for different jobs, some get a event t-shirt and other jobs do not. For that, it may be something to consider to include that information in the ticket. So you could have a product, t-shirts, like I showed earlier. I'm just going to pull up a cloud event. And we'll go to the Canada Day Ribfest again. And if I click register, what I think is happening here is you have some people who are registering have to pay or sign up who have a t-shirt and others do not. You could mention a volunteer ticket in parentheses t-shirt and perhaps a second one, no t-shirt, or describe that in the ticket and then use the description box on the left here to elicit that information that these types of tickets do not come with a t-shirt, and for these types of people and these kinds of tickets are for these types of people. So you can add that information.
Actually, we have volunteers to help run the event who get a t-shirt so we know who they are. The ticket buyers don't get t-shirts.
So then I would sorry, after you, Marcia.
Well, some volunteers help us on the day. They're at the event. They need a t-shirt. We need to know what job they're doing, what size t-shirt they have, blah, 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 blah. the other volunteers help us behind the scenes. They don't need a t-shirt. They're not coming to the event. It's a real mishmash of trying to, we need like
trying to sort
200
them.
volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need like 200 volunteers doing all kinds of different stuff. Some get a t-shirt, some don't. Actually, my more important question would be, this event we are doing, we've done for several years. I think we're at our 12th year or 13th year or something. If people buy tickets through Clubrunner this year, next year, can I pull up their email information, ticket
Yes.
buyers from last time, to say, hey, you can buy your ticket early, blah, blah, blah. And the same with donors. We can access donor information. Okay.
Yep, from the same orders tab. I think I showed this earlier. Instead of the email option, we just check this top checkbox, export, and it'll spit out a CSV, a spreadsheet file with their email address information in the contacts module. So your members will already be entered in Clubrunner. You can select them for emails. If you want to import the registrants, you can do that under contacts. In contacts, if I click manage contacts, we can import the contacts. There is a template, but from the CSV for cloud events or donations, you just copy the name column, the email column. There's optional address columns in the contact import template. You don't have to fill those. So if you copy just those two columns into this import contact template, you can even set up a contact group ahead of time. Fun run group, for example, you could create that ahead of time, and then while importing, select that group to import the contacts into.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, so that's another option after you, Marcia. I'm sorry.
No, well, it's Zoom. It's Zoom. We're all crazy. I'm somewhat familiar with Donor Perfect and having donor information, pulling lists, doing things like that. So some of this was real similar as you were going along.
Okay, well, I'm glad there are some similarities, so everything isn't brand new. But I wanted to get back to your sort of first question about the volunteers, Marcia. There are actually two options I really want to suggest for you, and I do see more questions, but I want to quickly answer this before I move on. In Clubrunner, under volunteers, there is a basic volunteers for member-only signups. Using our enhanced one, you can make it a public signup list, so it can collect volunteer signups. Once you create that sign-up list, you can, from this links column, click the sign-up list link and then copy this link for the sign-up list. If I had the enhanced sign-up list, this page would be on the public website, and we'd copy that URL. And then for your cloud event, you could go to that description box and then say volunteers should sign up here, and then link to the sign-up list. The other option I want to discuss before I move on here, sorry, events, cloud events, manage. I want to finish this volunteer sign up list link example here. I'm going to click manage. It is loading for me. Taking a little longer than I'm expecting. Everything should load within 5 seconds or so at most. I'm going to click manage again. There we go. And then I could go to setup, landing page, and here I could say volunteers should sign up here. The second option, I'll just leave that. I should highlight this text, click link, and paste in the URL and click OK. Now it's linked to the text instead of just ugly HTTPS link. There we go. So that's one option. Option two is have a free ticket, one for one day, another for another day, and then you can export that order information, and really the ticket would just be volunteer day whatever. So I'm going to show you guys how you create tickets in Clubrunner and how you can create custom questions very quickly here. Setup, then tickets and e-commerce. Here are those same tickets we configure in the registration checkout. I click add ticket, and then I could say free volunteer registration without t-shirt, or one day or another day. I'm going to just quickly save this. I could include more information. I could include pricing, but this should be free. You can also have availability for tickets, early bird registration, late registration, whatever. I want a free ticket. Free volunteer registration. The questionnaire, I'm going to go to form. We have two sections: order questions for the buyer, the person who's filling out the order form, and the attendee questions for each type of ticket should this question appear. Here are the guest name tickets that should have appeared when they ordered these family packs. It looks like somebody's gone into my demo in between setting it and hidden these. I'm sorry about that. These should have appeared for those questions, but we can do the same for the volunteer question. I click add question, and then I say, please share your size of t-shirt. We will change the question type to drop down, and we can add all of the different options. I'm going to say L, XL, S, medium, mid. I'll just use mid. And we can make this required, so they have to choose an answer, and we can make it conditional by ticket. So as soon as they click free volunteer registration, this question will appear for that attendee ticket holder. So there's two options. I just wanted to quickly share these options with you, Marcia. So give it a try. I know it's a lot of information, but let us know how it goes. And if you have feedback or questions or items about it, write in your member area help. You can submit a ticket or reach out for help. I hope that's helpful. Is it, Marcia?
Yeah. I can't tell if I'm muted or not.
No, I hear you. Thank you.
Okay.
If you have more questions, please share them in the chat or feel free to unmute. I will move on to more. Conrad asks, is there
Thank
a
you.
list of, oh, my pleasure. Is there a list of eligible mobile payment systems with donation and cloud events? If a particular platform is currently not connected with these CR platforms, how difficult is it to add the new mobile payment system? Another great question, Conrad. So if the payment processors I showed you do not appear or are not what you guys have, there are two ways of donations. Unfortunately, there's nothing we have for you. You can't make a donation campaign without one of these integrated payments. Cloud events, you can work around that. If I go to Rotary Club of Kipling, in the events setup, we have these initial tabs, and then if we click setup, we get this blue bar with more options. I'm going to click settings. Then below currency, here are the different payment options. I'm going to click edit for cloud events. The first is allow credit card payments. As soon as you check this, that credit card option appears. If I uncheck the other options, everybody must pay with credit card. If you don't have a Paya integrated payment account, you're using another payment processor, I would suggest unchecking allow credit cards unless you want to take payments with the integrated payment account. You can leave it on. I wouldn't use allow check payments. I would say allow bill me later. You could use allow check payments. We have feedback with our product team to change bill me later to other payment option, allow other payment options. So we're looking to rephrase this, but you can allow either of these options and then include that third-party processor's payment form link or where they should Venmo the payment to, if it should be like a Venmo email payment. So this is where I'd go pay on our sponsor's website, for example, or pay on our PayPal checkout card, for example. Well, why use a PayPal checkout card page when you can integrate PayPal? So just trying to share some examples here. And then I would go to my payment processor's payment form where they've set up your payment form. I'm just going to use Google. I'm sorry, I don't have a third-party payment form to show you, but you would go to that payment form, copy its URL, or right-click and copy, and then paste it into that. I'm sorry, I'm losing myself here. Into that allow bill me later or pay by check payment option. So we've enabled bill me later. I could include a pay on our PayPal. I could throw in an email address here. I will not, but just have this Google link, and then I can click save. And now when they go to register to the event, they'll see the bill me later payment option. I'll show you guys. Scrolling past our widget we quickly threw together, Canada Day Rib Fest, register. And if I just choose one of these tickets, I did make this one conditional for a question, so let's quickly test that. The t-shirt, we'll throw in one of those and proceed to checkout. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, payment option, and now is a drop down. If I click bill me later, it gives us this link. It's not hyperlinked, but I can highlight it, copy it, or use my browser option to go to it. I'm certain there's a way to hyperlink it. I'm just not recalling it right now. But you could do the same for check. You could include another payment instruction or email address to send that payment to, or what the check should be made out to. But if you have an integrated payment account, you can just use credit card, and it'll be a credit card payment form. As soon as they click submit, it'll go through that payment account. If you use bill me later or check, it will not feed into the cloud event report. So you will need to go back into the cloud event and mark the order as paid. You can edit the order and change its balance to 0 or enter in a partial payment from the orders tab. Quickly showing you guys, I click orders. If I scroll down, I can click, say, the one we did today, edit info if I'm remembering correctly. Nope. Let's try again. Drop down order details. It is loading for me here. There we go. And here's the summary, the tickets and products they've ordered, the different buyer, the attendee information. Here is the payment. So I could go here and click this little drop down, mark pay, click pay, and then I could enter in the credit card information, or there should be other ways to mark the payment. Log transaction, pardon me. There it is, log transaction. Enter in the cash payment or check payment. There we go. So that's another method to take online payments without our integrated payment accounts. Just skimming for more questions. Stephanie's chat, what's up feature. Comments on website stories is what I'd suggest. And I see a few people need to drop off. So I just want to thank everybody. I know we've gone overtime at this point. We're 20 minutes overtime. Big thank you to Josh for hosting us, for getting us all together so that I can present our content. And I will follow up in our email, Josh. I'll let you close out our meeting if that's okay.
Yes, Omar, thank you so much. It is 9:22 where you are, or no, is it 10? Almost 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your time. I know we have some people that dropped off, but this meeting has been recorded and we will be sharing it on our YouTube channel at Hawai'i Rotary. Again, my favorite thing that I learned is that you guys accept PayPal and this new cloud events. I've seen it and I'm super stoked. I already created my ticket. I just have to send it to get PayPal connected. So everyone here, if you have Clubrunner, I encourage you to try out these features that he showed, along with being able to contact Clubrunner support if you have any questions. With that being said, we will meet the third Monday. This is the last one of the Rotary year, and we'll see you guys next month. Thank you very much, Omar, and thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.